Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to talk about the state of our country. It's in trouble. And if you haven't been paying attention to the news, you know that our federal government is being destroyed by an evil duo, uh, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And the destruction is continuing. This is about a lot of federal employees being laid off, a complete abuse of power. And the fact is, our democracy, our country, is being destroyed. Now, last week I did make a video praising Donald Trump's decision on congestion pricing. However, legally, as much as we can't stand congestion pricing, legally, he actually probably cannot stop it. So that's the thing legally, and the state is going to be fighting it in court, and the state may very well succeed. So congestion pricing, unfortunately, the fee will continue most likely. And when he made that post, he said, "Long live the king." He thinks he's the king. That's already very disturbing. All right. As much as I can't stand Kathy Hochul, and she is an absolutely lousy governor, for him to call himself the king is very disturbing. This is what he thinks. He thinks he's the king. He thinks he's the dictator. He thinks he can just do whatever the hell he wants to do. And as I said before, this isn't about being a Republican or being a Democrat. This is about being an American, standing up for the rule of law in this country. And the fact is, we have a president who thinks he's above the law, a president who thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants to do, and the hell with the law and everything else. We're going to talk about a bunch of things that he's been doing. And when it comes to the first thing I'm going to start with is the federal government employees that are being laid off and fired and being threatened with firing. Elon Musk sent out an email to the government employees saying you got to list 5 things that you did or something within that, and if you don't respond, you'll be fired. And even people that were just approved by the Senate, like Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard, are like, this is ridiculous. This is crossing the line. But Trump defended it. He defended it. So it's important that people who are part of the Trump administration start acting now. Honestly, I think the way we're going to get rid of him is from the inside. It's going to be his own people that are going to decide this has gone way too far now. I have friends who are government employees who are scared of their jobs, scared for their jobs. My relative, the person he lives with, is a government employee, and they're concerned about their job and what could happen. We have National Park Service employees being laid off and sites closing because of these cutbacks. We have we have a Republican Party that's hell-bent on destroying this country and destroying the safety net people like me rely on. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. They want to cut all of that. And who do they want to give it to? The rich. And then they list it, and they have this thing, we're going to send out $5,000 checks with the money Doge saved. Doge is a big scam. All right, they're making up numbers. There's no facts to like 80% of what they're saying. It's a big scam. You have Elon Musk, who is a vile, evil, I can't even call him a living thing because he is so evil. He's right up there with Hitler. He really is, with the Nazi salute and everything. He's right up there with Hitler. All right? He is evil. He is Dr. Evil. And he's absolutely disgusting piece of garbage. There's nothing good about the man. He is pure evil. Evil. And we can't stand for that. We can't stand for somebody like that. So he's sending out these $5,000 checks. He claims he's going to send out these $5,000 checks, but read into the details because not everybody's going to get those checks. They're only going to go to people earning above a certain income. That's right. So not everybody will get them. I won't get them. It's only going to go to the people. So again, here he's taking money from the poor and giving it to the rich. That's what's going on. We have a coup in this country right now. We have a coup. The richest people in the oligarchy are trying to hijack our federal government, cut our programs, take our money, and give it to themselves as tax breaks. That's what's going on in this country right now. And I think more and more people need to mobilize, take to the streets, and it's going to get to the point where we're going to need a national strike where everything shuts down until they decide we are going to remove Donald Trump and deport Elon Musk. And I know there's some people out there who still support Donald Trump. I feel sorry for you, man. I really do. I still have some friends out there like, well, this is still a better choice than Kamala Harris. Are you freaking kidding me? I wasn't in love with Kamala Harris, but if we had Kamala Harris, we wouldn't be going through any of this turmoil right now. We wouldn't see all these layoffs going on. Oh, and then the other thing, oh, well, he's going to deport the illegals. He already fired Tim Holman already, I think. He ain't deporting illegals. I see more of them than ever in my town. More of them than ever. More of them than ever on the bus. What a freaking lie. Donald Trump has been a con man his whole life. What makes you think he's not going to be a con man now? And now he's trying to ruin the United States of America. This is not acceptable. And the other announcement I'm making is my channel banner is going to be the American flag upside down. And I urge everybody to fly the American flag upside down. This is what we do when our country is in distress. And boy, are we in distress right now. The other announcement is that I'm going to be creating a Blue Sky account because we all know YouTube is in bed with Trump, and who knows what they're going to do in the future to try to shut up dissent against Trump. We are fighting for our democracy here. And the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to take, the harder it's going to be to get our country back. And I think that Donald Trump needs to be impeached and removed. And I think Congress needs to hold impeachment hearings. That's what I think. But the only way they're going to do that is if the people, we take to the streets, the people takes to the streets. And there have been protests. The media, because the media, again, is beholden to Trump, not covering them. But there have been protests. But we need way more massive protests. We need to see massive protests like the kind that we've saw when that whole Nixon scandal was going on, like the kind against the Vietnam War. We need massive protests in this country against this. There are a lot of people out there that still won't wake up and see what's going on. More and more people are waking up, and they are seeing what's going on. But we need to do a lot more than what we're doing right now. Because, like I said, if we don't stop this, Donald Trump's they're already crafting legislation so he can run for a third term. Yeah, trying to do that too. He's defied the Constitution. The only thing that's standing in the way right now of him getting completely his way are these judges. Thank God for these judges that are standing up to him and putting injunctions and trying to stop all these illegal executive orders that he's doing. He is a joke. He is a joke. He's a fat bastard is what he is. This is like the Austin Powers movie again. It's like we got Dr. Evil and the fat bastard trying for world domination. Everybody hates us. The whole world hates us now. It's not just that he's screwing up our own country by cutting all these oversight programs. He's cutting all these agencies that have oversight against oversight of corporations. The CPBB or the CP Consumer Protection Bureau, that was cut. That's a watchdog for Wall Street. Oh, we're going to cut that because he wants to make sure Wall Street can do whatever they want to do, especially so Elon can do whatever he wants to do. Oh, he's gotten so much richer since Trump has become president. It's unbelievable. It really is. And like I said, Doge is a big scam. Doge is a huge scam. And Doge is not even something that's technically legally allowed under law. So it's operating illegally. Elon is trying to get access to the Treasury, trying to get access to all these government programs. Thank God there are judges that are stopping them, but he's defying some of these orders. And again, these people, they should be thrown in jail. A warrant should be out for the arrest of Elon Musk. The same thing goes for Donald Trump. Donald Trump defends him every step of the way. And yeah, I have friends, good friends, who still don't freaking get it. When are you going to regret your vote for Donald Trump? Because if you don't regret it by now, I don't know what to tell you. I could see this coming. I could have told you so. All this was going to happen. I could have told you that our federal government was going to be dismantled. I could have told you that. But none of you listened. And even Kamala was talking about it. All right, she didn't address the prices of everything, but she was talking about it. I mean, to me, it seemed like a pretty easy choice. Do I choose between somebody who seems rather sane? I mean, they might be a little bit on the liberal side, all right, and they have some things that I don't agree with. Or do I choose a tyrant, a dictator, a fascist? The choice seemed pretty simple. But then we have this whole other thing going on where it's possible that maybe Kamala did win the election and that the election was stolen because it was rigged. Because Donald Trump, of course, he was saying, oh, it was rigged, it was rigged. And again, the Democrats, the left just sat down and took this when we shouldn't have taken it. Because there are a lot of suspicious things going on. We know there was voter suppression going on. We know all that. And Donald Trump shouldn't even be the president because he aided and abetted an insurrection, and that should have disqualified him to be the president. He's really an illegitimate president. He's not really even legally should be the president. So you know what I think of his executive orders? You know what I think of his executive orders? You know what I think of your executive orders, Mr. Trump? This is what I think of them. Throw them in the trash because they're worthless. They have no merit. They have no merit. They have no merit. And nobody should be obeying them. We got to start defying this president. It starts with defying these executive orders. And as much as I don't like Kathy Hochul, in a way, I'm glad she's defying Trump on the congestion price. In a way, I'm glad. We got to stand up. But the problem with Kathy Hochul is she's so fixated on the congestion pricing, and there are way worse things that Trump is doing right now. Way worse things. Way worse things. Congestion pricing is the least of it. And we all know congestion tax is horrible. We know that. But there's way worse things he's doing, like what he's doing to the federal employees that have to worry about having a job. And if they say something against Trump, they could get fired. Yeah, we are living in a dictatorship. This is right now no longer a democracy. We are not living in a democracy right now. We are living in a dictatorship. We can take it back, but we've got to take to the streets. We're heading for Nazi Germany. Hitler did it in like 52 days. Trump's trying to beat that record right now. So what are we going to do, America? Are we going to sit here and take it? Or are we going to shut this thing down? Harass your congresspeople. Call them every day. Go down to their offices. I'm going to start doing that. I know Tom Suozzi probably agrees with a lot of what's going on right now. But we have Republican congresspeople too. And we need to go down to their offices too. We need to have protests in front of their office and say, do your duty. You took an oath of office. You need to stand up for the rule of law and the Constitution in this country. We have an illegitimate president that is trying to seize power, take over the federal government, shut it down, and turn everything into a branch of his power. And no, I don't want to leave the United States. We have to stand here and fight for our country right now. And if you are a congressperson in the United States Congress, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, whatever, you need to do your fucking job and remove this illegitimate president that is abusing his power. It's funny, Republicans always believed in the party of we strictly interpret the Constitution, and yet you're allowing a tyrant to basically take the Constitution and flush it down the toilet. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. All of you. And yeah, He is all the things he promised to do for the people he ain't doing. He's not getting rid of the illegals. He's certainly not getting the cost of anything down. The prices just keep going up. Probably more now than when Biden was president. Yeah, he's like been a con man his whole damn life. Fooling people, ripping them off, running scams, and now he's committing the biggest scam of all, stealing the United States of America. So these are all the things he's doing. And honestly, there have been, I think I've gotten some, I'm going to look it up, but I've heard some news that he's actually deporting less illegals than Joe Biden did. Yeah, believe it or not. That whole plan to store the illegals and go out, it's all falling apart. He's not deporting them. He's not going to deport them because they provide cheap labor for wealthy scumbags who don't want to pay United States citizens a livable wage. So they have these illegals come. They do the jobs for much less. They have no standards. They don't care. And, and they love it. They love it. That's what's going on here in Mineola. Landlords know, hey, I could rent a legal apartment, or I could stuff, instead of having a legal two-family home, I could stuff illegals in there and charge them like $500 a room and make way more money. And they're not going to complain because they know they don't want to go back to where they came from. It's all about the cheap labor that they provide. And we know, though, the rich, they don't want to get rid of them. And so we're going to have to deal with the crime and the gangs and our communities being destroyed while the wealthy just live it up in their own little world, separate from everything else. And that's what's going to go on. That's what's going to go on. We have a coup going on in this country, whether you want to see it or not. But you need to open your eyes and realize what's going on. It's okay if you want to stay a Republican. I don't have a problem with that. But we need somebody else to run the Republicans right now, all right? Donald Trump has been the worst thing for the Republican Party. I miss the Republican Party of Ronald Reagan, the Republican Party of George Pataki, even the Republican Party of George W. Bush. I miss that Republican Party. But ever since this MAGA cult has come in and taken the whole freaking party over, it's become nothing but a fascist, racist party that's trying to perpetrate a coup on our country right now. I don't know what else to say. But I'm going to be here standing up for the United States of America because I love the United States of America. I don't want to live in Canada. I don't want to live in any other country. There's no country like the United States of America. We have to stand up and fight for our democracy. Put down your phone, call your elected officials, protest, do whatever you can to get our democracy back. We have the power, Congress has the power to remove Donald Trump from power. We got to impeach and remove Donald Trump from power. He is not eligible to be president in the first place. He is violating the Constitution. He is putting our world at risk. Because this goes beyond the country. I should have kept going on that. We're losing respect. I mean, he's buddy-buddy with Putin, trying to turn against Ukraine. Trying to blame Ukraine and President Zelensky, who's a hero. He's trying to blame him. He called Zelensky a dictator. You believe this guy? Do you believe this piece of garbage, this fat bastard is our president? Do you believe that? That he would say such a thing? But that's the way he is. And he's like, oh, we're going to make Greenland red, white, and blue land. This guy is out of his freaking mind. He is not fit to be the United States president of the United States. And Joe Biden was asleep. He was old. I know. He was a little slow. But you know what? He may have been that way, but his principles, he was able to actually process things properly. Donald Trump belongs in a mental institution. There is something seriously wrong with him, and a lot of people in his family, they probably have severe mental illness. Oh, and then we get to that. Oh, yeah, RFK Jr. We get to that other piece of scum who wants to take away medications. And then he made a statement saying, all the people who need antidepressants, we're going to put them in labor camps. Gee, it sounds like we're turning into Germany, doesn't it? Back when Hitler ran it. That's the kind of stuff that makes you think of fleeing the country. That's them. But this is the kind of stuff that Governor Hochul should be focused on instead of congestion pricing. She should say, no, we're not going to do that in New York. We're not going to do that. I'll have the state police guard all the borders if we have to. We're a state, and we need to start. She kind of spoke about it. We got independence from tyranny, but she doesn't get that the real important stuff isn't the congestion pricing. The real important stuff is trying to throw people with mental illness in labor camps. The abuse of power going on right now. Donald Trump saying, well, they're not going to get funding. They're not going to get funding because they don't support me. You know, all that stuff. He wants to be, he said, long live the king. Long live the king. He thinks he's the king. This is what's going on with this country right now. So I'm going to have a Blue Sky account that I'm going to be linking here because I may be doing more of these kind of videos on the Blue Sky. It's not here because we all know YouTube. I don't know. But what is going to happen? I'm glad I live in a state that borders Canada because I still may have to flee to Canada. And you know what really sucks about going to Canada? They don't have this. They don't have this. Yeah, they got pines. They're not pine barrens. I love the pine barrens. All I know is if I was in Governor Hochul's shoes, I would be addressing all these things. And I would be telling Donald Trump that all these crazy things that he wants to do, New York is not going to go along with any of it. All right. And I would tell him that if he tries to tell us what to do, then we will mobilize the state police and we will stand up for our own sovereignty. And if that means having to secede this country and become part of Canada, then that's what we're going to have to do. And of course, I love the United States. I want to stay in the United States. But if the United States is lost, New York State at least has to be saved. And we have to become part of Canada. Or our own country. We have our sovereignty, and Donald Trump is trying to take that away from us. So that I'll agree with Kathy Hochul on, but she's picking the wrong battle. She's picking the wrong battle. Instead of trying to battle Trump over congestion pricing and saving that, she should be battling him over all the horrible cuts that he's proposing to Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare, all the layoffs going on, all the abuse of power going on. That's what she should be focusing on. Instead of this tax that's really out to hurt the middle class. And I'm still against congestion pricing. And I agree with Donald Trump, hey, it's wrong. But like everything he says, he's probably not going to get anywhere because the courts, New York has the right to charge that. They got the legal right to charge it right now, unfortunately. I think that's the way the judge is going to find. So that's what I think. But God help America. It's been about a 25-minute video. I'll go a little bit more. I want to just have it about 25 minutes. But I'm very worried about the future of this country. But it all depends on you. Are you just going to sit back and pretend it's all fine? Or are you going to start doing stuff about it? Whatever you can do. Or if you can't protest, at least call your elected officials and call them every day and demand that they remove Donald Trump from office. Because right now, that is the only solution, is the impeachment and removal of Donald Trump. Elon Musk, at the very least, should be deported. At the very most, he should be facing charges and placed under arrest. He is an enemy of the state. He is a pure, despicable, evil person that should be behind bars. He should be arrested, sentenced, and then deported. But he is just evil. Evil. Racist, evil. I could see that 1,000 miles away. I could see what was going to happen to this country when Donald Trump won 100 light years from now. I could see that 100 light years away, that this was going to be a disaster. You all should have known that. You all should have known that, all you people who voted for Trump. So if you're upset about what's going on, I can say, I could have told you so. I could have told you this was going to happen. And now we have to fight to get our country back. But like I said in the other video I made a while ago, we got to do whatever we can to stop this from happening. We've got to do whatever we can to save our country. And no, we can't wait for the next election. We can't wait. Unfortunately, this can't be solved at the ballot box because we can't give Donald Trump 2 more years. That's how long it's going to take for a little less than 2 years for the midterm elections. We can't give him that. We have to do it now. And if our representatives still refuse to listen, then the states are going to have to mobilize, and we're going to have to fight for our independence once again, very much like we did in the Civil War. So that is all I'm going to say. Let's pray for America. Our country is in trouble right now. And if you really love America, you'll stand up and fight for what's right. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and God bless America.